I am Brett from the Glorious Sons with Jess on 100.3 The Bear.
That's it. It's a flawless
Nice.
entry. Okay. You guys are kind of full for summer festivals, all in Ontario and everything. And then I noticed you're off to Vancouver to kind of do as like the wrap up for FIFA.
Yeah,
Very
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Big football fans?
No.
Okay, we call it soccer. Okay,
Yes,
cool. Okay,
yes.
we're same page.
Yeah.
There you go. We had a contest to play the main stage for Sunday, and a bunch of bands entered on our website. And one of the bands ended up saying, we made a joke last year that we were going to be on the main stage next year. So, can you remember a time, maybe early Glorious Sons, where you're thinking, you know what, we're going to play that building one day, or we're going to play with that band one day?
Well, interesting enough, it was like the Mansion, which is a really small bar in Kingston.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but
But
special, right?
yeah, it was special to me when we got a show there because
Yeah.
all the good bands would come in and play there. And when we were starting out, we would play a lot of places that would just have us. So it'd be like a Cougar Bar or Brandy's or whatever. And when finally we got a show at the Mansion, that meant a lot to me.
Okay. And do you still find you want to go back and you want to play those shows back home, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. I wanted to share this with you too, because when you guys were kind of first starting out, when you dropped the Union and, the Bear was starting to play your songs, that was kind of my early days at the Bear.
Yeah.
So I remember like one of my first interviews was with you guys. So I feel like my career at the Bear kind of followed your guys' career
Yeah.
in a weird way.
Cool.
So I appreciate that,
Well,
and you
thank
letting
you.
me share
Yeah,
that
I'm
with
glad. I'm glad.
you. Is there a song that has really evolved for you guys from the studio version to playing it live at, say, a festival or just any live show?
There's actually so many because I find that when you go into the studio and you're putting it down, you're kind of trying to cut fat.
Hmm.
But when you play it live and you start getting reps in, you start seeing new ways that you can expand on it. So a lot of our songs actually like take a totally different structure live than
Yeah.
they do on album.
Mhm.
But like you name it, from like Mama to White Noise to, I mean, there's many. I
Yeah.
can't remember them all right now, but they all kind of take on unique structures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very cool. I see videos like this a lot where an artist will be walking near a fan that's wearing their merch.
Hmm.
So have you ever walked up and noticed, oh God, that guy's wearing a Glorious
Yeah.
Sons? Do you say something,
Yeah,
or you just kind of,
I say nice shirt,
Yeah.
nice hat.
yeah.
Yeah.
And do they usually?
Yeah.
They got to know
smile.
it's you.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Very, very
I
cool.
think sometimes they don't, and it's
Oh.
kind of fun, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Tell me about your fan of the year contest. I was looking at that on
Oh.
social. That looked so wicked. Like, you had kind of your runners up, and then the big fan of the year. Like, is this something that you guys are going to continue to do?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, we just got a bunch of crap lying around that we
Yeah.
don't want, that our fans will probably want.
Mhm.
And it started with this huge jacket, and yeah, people started writing in, and there ended up being like hundreds upon hundreds of them, and they were really long, and some of them were like beautiful, and some of them were really sad, and some of them were just funny. Like you could tell some people were drunk while they were writing it. um and yeah, it was a pretty good exercise because it made you kind of take into account how lucky we were.
Yeah.
And I think kind of we had not really a busy winter, so it was a time that we kind of needed to see that kind of thing.
Very cool.
Yeah.
You guys obviously like a family and some legit family in the band.
Yeah.
But has anything really changed between you guys on the road after all these years, or does it just feel like the same, group of guys?
Same dynamics. I mean, I'll never escape the little brother syndrome kind of thing. But people change,
Yeah.
as you know, in life. And really, when you're on a tour bus with them, it actually doesn't actually hurt that much that they're changing, because it happens in real time. So it happens slowly, and you get used to it just as fast as they kind of get used to it.
Yeah.
And yeah, the dynamics never really changed. Like, and as far as like me, Jay, and Pac, or like the actual like business owners, I mean, we're all brothers in that sense. There's no stopping that.
We dealt with some pretty wild weather already today for Rockin Thunder Festival. Have you guys, I know obviously you've played a lot of outdoor shows. Have you ever been called off mid-stage or just like kind of stayed on stage through the rain or the wind or
Oh
anything
yeah,
like that?
one of
Yeah.
the best shows ever was in London, Ontario. Pouring rain, and we just turned the stage into a slip and slide and just ripped. And it was still, it's probably my favorite show of ours of all time. And definitely we've got cancellations in like Oklahoma from like tornado warnings and such. Yeah, it happens all the time.
Absolutely. I wanted to ask, has bare feet on stage ever backfired for you?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah. In the summer when it gets really hot
Oh, yeah.
and the stage is black, it basically becomes a sun conductor. And a couple of times I've like left the stage with blisters on the bottoms of my feet.
Burnt.
And I would kind of have to hop around on like the balls of my feet and my toes to avoid actually them getting burnt too bad.
Dang. Would you
Yeah.
ever switch to shoes at the hot spots or no? You got to still.
I think I did switch to them, and then I switched back for some reason. I don't really know why, but yeah, I think now actually what's happened is we're playing a lot of later bills.
Yeah.
So I don't really have to worry about it as much. But when we go to the States, I'll probably have to, kind of reassess.
Yeah, figure it out. Okay, so 2 questions I'm going to be asking everybody this weekend for Rockin Thunder. What gives you the most hope or confidence in where kind of rock music is and where it's headed, do you think?
I've never really been one of these people who like thinks it's dead or anything like that. Basically, like a kid gets into music, and a lot of the times he's picking up the drums or the guitar, and he's learning to play. I mean, and those are rock and roll instruments. So, I mean, that gives me a lot of hope. Certain bands give me hope. Like there's this band named Wonder Horse. They give me a lot of hope. But I've never felt hopeless about rock and roll music. I think that it's not maybe the biggest type of music out there now, but I don't really care. It doesn't really matter. Like, I mean, the biggest music even back in the day probably for a little while wasn't rock and roll, even when rock and roll was coming up. And everything's going to have lulls and peaks. And yeah, I'm not hopeless about it at all. I think there's many reasons to be optimistic about rock and roll's future.
Cool. And just a message from Brett and the Glorious Sons to Edmonton.
We love you, Edmonton. You guys are great fans.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Edmonton's best rock, 100.3 The Bear.